So let's see if it's better. It is time for another upgrade. So if you've been watching some of my previous videos, you know that I started drifting, attempting to drift, this bad unit right here. So one of the complaints that I have, basically is the pedal. I feel like it's a little difficult to explain unless you've experienced it, but so this car is drive-by-wire, there's no cable or anything, so I feel like when I map the pedal to the floor, there's this sort of dead time where it takes the pedal, you know, a second, half a second, whatever, to catch up to what I'm doing, which creates in my mind like this rubber band effect. And it, other than like just popping the clutch, it makes it difficult for me personally to drift. So SpeedForm throttle controller. Throttle controller. It's got 5 settings. It's got Eco, your stock, so like it's not plugged in at all, Comfort, Sport, and then Race. I'm hoping we put this thing in, and essentially as soon as I push the pedal, the car will react and make it a little bit easier to drift, a little more fun. I have no misconceptions. You know, obviously this thing does not add any kind of horsepower or anything, but it does change the reaction time of the car. So it should be pretty cool. So we're going to throw this thing in, walk you guys through it. It's really, really simple. It's really straightforward. We'll show you guys, you know, how it goes. We'll go take this thing for a test rip, and I will give you my review on whether this thing sucks or not. So let's get it.
Okay, guys. So down here, we actually unplugged the original one that plugs into this new one. This one, you just simply plug in and push the tab down. And then we ran the wire up. I coiled it nicely into this. And it runs out through the dash to where we mounted it, just below the light switches. It's a really easy and simple job. It took us, what, 20 minutes?
It took us 5 minutes and then 15 minutes to figure out where we want to mount the digital pad.
The digital pad was kind of hard to mount because where we wanted it was up here and it rubbed against the steering column. So we had to compromise for that. But other than that, it was easy, simple, and a nice little addition to the project.
So let's go rip. So what we were just talking about, I have it in Eco 1. So each of the 5 settings, in those settings, have 9 subsettings. So basically, if you're like, I want Eco mode, but one Eco mode is just boring as all get out, you can go to 9, which will be an aggressive Eco mode, which seems dumb to me. But even like, so if you go to race mode, you're like, 9 is just too touchy, it's too aggressive, and it makes the car, you know, I don't want to say uncontrollable, but it just makes the car drive stupid. Well, then maybe you want race mode, but in one subsetting, and that'll make it drive a little bit better, a little more controllable, which we, at this point, have not even tried race mode. I wanted to start with Eco mode because we're on the way to get some gas. So what do you think about that? But there's definitely like, I was kind of afraid it would just make the car boring. Eco mode seems to make the car smooth. And interestingly enough, when you go from Eco to normal, I can feel that setting change, which I kind of assumed that you wouldn't. I don't know. To be frank, I kind of thought this thing was going to be a little gimmicky, but maybe not. We'll see. Let's get some gas and get into some trouble. Just kidding. In Mexico, of course. You want to go to Mexico?
What is this, Fast and Furious?
Maybe. You're just right on the edge there, bud.
Sup, baby.
Wow. Hey, girl. I have that, by the way.
That's going on YouTube.
Do you remember that? Because I was watching it the other day when I think I screwed up my line or I didn't know what I was going to say. So I just start calling you a girl. And I'm like, hey girl, you're so girly, girl. And you just ignored me. You're like, I don't have time for you.
You're a weirdo.
Alright. Just a touch of gas and see what we see. So we're still in eco. Should we bump it up?
Comfort?
To comfort. It's not comfortable, but you You feel it. That's crazy.
You would think they would be pretty close together where like it kind of
yes, absolutely. That is exactly what I thought. I figured it'd be like a perfect scale almost. So realistically, unless you went from eco to race or maybe eco to sport, you're not really going to notice it. But that's awesome. That's awesome. This might be a really good purchase.
Super good.
I didn't say super. You said
Uber
super.
good.
I don't like Ubers. Random.
Ubers
Oh,
are weird.
we got a Mustang. I think they want to race. It's a V6. They don't want none of this smoke. All right, so right now we are in P13. So I'm going to go to P19. You definitely feel it. I'm really impressed, actually. It's hard to describe. It just everything's more touchy. It makes the wheel more touchy. Excuse me, not the wheel, the pedal. So like when I'm just cruising, right, going straight, there's this kind of on-off switch instead of you can just rest your foot and the car is just going. It's not this motion here. So I bet in race mode, if you're not racing, I bet it's annoying. Which we're gonna find out.
Dead zone in it.
Yeah, kinda. Oh man, you definitely feel it. That's wow, and that's comfort mode. So I think sport and race is gonna be just a good time. I should probably shut traction control off.
Yeah.
Chill. Because remember, a lot of this was driven by my love of the drift. So I was hoping that this thing would help initiate drift more easily, and I think that it will. We're going to find out, but not with traction control on, we're not. Can you feel it as the passenger?
A little. It has some nice as soon as you get into it.
But do you feel it's different than it was on the way there?
Yes. Because I feel like the motor and like your pedal just goes blah, 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 and then goes into it. Oh, this is more like exponential into
it. I do feel because this, oh, by the way, I got all this stuff from AmericanMuscle.com. We are not sponsored. It'd be cool if we were. But they sell good stuff. They've got a video also. They said that most people will probably drive around in this mode, in comfort mode. I think probably they're right, but not at setting 9. So I will probably drive around this mode in like setting 1, closer to like the normal. But I'm feeling pretty positive, pretty excited that race mode's going to be just a killer. So I'm excited.
I don't know why you need to go back into normal.
Ever? Yeah, I don't know. I have no clue. Oh, they opened the gate there, so maybe they'll just go in and out there. And maybe they won't even see me in my super blue vehicle pull into the parking lot.
Super bright blue.
Oh man, what do we do? Do we just send it?
They can't catch us. We're the gingerbread men.
Are we the gingerbread men?
I think so.
Let's see if we're the gingerbread men. Alright, so like I said, There's a huge difference. Huge difference. So just right there, I was accelerating, right, in a consistent pedal weight, just pulling into this parking lot in Mexico. And as I'm doing that, I'm switching into race mode. As I'm switching into race mode, the car starts accelerating more quickly. Just by that. And I'm not pushing the pedal down, I'm holding the pedal. So let's see if it's better. Well, if you couldn't tell, it definitely was able to throw down some G's. Yeah, that's freaking awesome. So it's about 135 bucks, AmericanMuscle.com. I don't know, man, that was sick.
I'd say it's a definite buy.
100%. 100%. If you want to change the attitude of your car by pushing a button, and again, no more horsepower, which actually I think it's the most impressive part of it, is that none of that was more horsepower. It's just more responsive throttle, and it's like driving a different car. So after the camera fell, we pulled off to get everything set back up. I went from race mode to eco mode. It's like I'm driving a different car completely. It's absolutely wild. I would highly recommend this if you're trying to change your car, add a little something. It's super inexpensive. 5 minutes to put in. And again, the hardest part for us is figuring out where we wanted to mount it. That took longer than actually hooking the whole thing up. So I think on that note, push the subscribe button if you're already a subscriber. Thank you very much. And catch you next time. This is fun. This thing.
This is fun.
I feel like a famous person.
We are famous.
We're famous.
Coming to you live from Michigan.